Thank you so much, Alex. Indeed, this is going to be so exciting. Everything lines up for this to be an incredible matchup, and already we've got the pistol rounds off started, and Na'Vi looking to push that B-bomb site. And you know what, NRG, they've got a few players in position for the defense here, and there's not much utility to deny them.
A smoke, a flash, and a lot of players going through a choke point. Ethan starts well. There's a crossfire to deal with. Fuse doesn't know where the fires are coming from. 3 CTs here now. A Cirque's in the market, and this is a decimation. The wings are being pulled off the fly. Electron is the last man standing, last man to fall, and that is a very solid pistol round from NRG. That is really, really nice indeed. Cirque and Ethan with perfect armor, which likely means both those players get M4A4s at the very beginning.
Yeah, I love that crossfire. What a strong crossfire to play with, and especially considering there was so much of a limitation in utility from Na'Vi, they didn't really have too much to deal with that. You're really hoping that you get the numbers in and you can just trade and push forwards with position, but NRG were just so good in the opening shots, so that could never happen. And it's more or less a full eco here from Na'Vi. They've got a couple of Deagles and a P250, but that's basically it. They'll go for the mid phase, which is not too uncommon. You know that the CTs might peek you, they might give you a jewel, and then you get an opportunity to get a headshot in, and that might be some of your best chances to get the Deagles working without utility. And you can see it is being played out here, but not looking too good, is it, for Na'Vi? Everybody's going down. These Deagles yet to do any damage, and now it's just Zeus, and he's got a Glock, and that's it. He has no teammates.
Yeah, this
no hope and help.
This is bad for Na'Vi, because this is saying in 2 rounds, 1 kill. So the CT economy is as good as you could hope for from the NRG perspective, which is more money than they might otherwise have. Na'Vi coming in with the bite. The Kriegs, 3 Kriegs bought so far, 4 Kriegs bought. I'm liking this Krieg priority. And Zeus may be on a Deagle. You can see he drops a weapon or something for his team in the round prior. So a quartet of Kriegs. It's a scope party for Na'Vi, but will it be enough? I think that's the smoke that goes deep into the apartments. Not something you often see. I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, it is indeed. Landing perfectly. Combo with the Molotov, wow. And that's going to be some really early map control for NRG. That's a rare smoke these days. And in the meantime, they're pushing ramp at the same time.
They're so active. Yeah, this is really cool to see because it's very disruptive to whatever Na'Vi are doing. It's very likely that this can effectively punish a default. Because look, if Flamey's here alone, he's going to be playing this corner, so it'll be hard to take the engagement. You see, Stanislaw goes for him. Flamey, he understands what's happening. That's such brilliant intuition from Flamey to pick up that kill, and NRG will be denied picking off one of the players on the extremity of the map. But Breeze is pushing Palace now. NRG super active in this round.
I love this no respect style. This is unbelievable from NRG. What we've seen in this 1 round, they have come into this prepared. So many pushes. Doesn't see Flamey just yet. Just about sees him now. Gets around the corner before Electronic makes his way towards T-Spawn to do something about it. This is a big problem for Na'Vi. How do you call with all these pushes going on? How do you decide what to do on a T side? You're supposed to be the aggressors. Breeze is still waiting. Oh, the absolute liberties are being taken by NRG. They are making a statement in round 3 of this game.
Yeah, this is a style that Na'Vi should be able to play with the like simple, like this Puggy style, where it's very much about these weird situations in the mid round. Boomich might actually catches up, just moving out of position, but doesn't get the kill. Zeus with the Deagle on the other hand is going to open up things. We've got that B-bomb side under control by Na'Vi. Although Cirque is close, again, he has 6 HP, so he can't really push and take a fight. He needs a teammate to play off of, and Boomish will take one of those teammates out. It really falls on Ethan here, and if you consider that Na'Vi had 0 utility, 0 smokes,
0 position.
This is kind of incredible that they found their way into this position, but it is part and parcel in playing this very dynamic mid-round kind of a style where NRG themselves are moving all over the place. Things get really weird, and it looks like NRG will have to just save these 2 weapons.
I do not know how Na'Vi managed to turn this round around. It started so well for NRG, so much confidence, and again, psychological warfare in round number 3. If they had won this round, and if they'd won it convincingly, that would have been such a good spot for them, but somehow they've lost it. I don't even understand how. All that work on the A bomb site, the pushes from Breeze, the suggestion that he'd fallen back, but he hadn't. He's still there, takes Electronic out, but they've still somehow lost the round. But that's a credit to Na'Vi again. It was a very, very rough game of Dust 2, as you heard from the thoughts of the analysts, from one game to the next. So maybe there are signs of promise you're going to need to be heard if you want to help Na'Vi get back into this series. So now the big buy is out for NRG. Cirque on the AWP. There's going to be a forward play from Ethan. They're good with the setups. There's a flashbang from the A bomb site, but it's not good enough. Boomich rips Cirque's face off.
He was doing the flashbang dance at the same time and everything that hand as well, and truly over his eyes still nails that shot into Cirque. Now NRG are in a position where they themselves have very limited utility and they're down a man early. This is an awkward spot because sometimes you want to try to take the action away from the Ts. The Ts have this advantage. They can play the clock. They can get into position. You want to try to disrupt the setup that they're looking to get before they really cement it and then go for that attack where they have all the advantages to play with. So there's either that, when we see Ethan going for a flash play here with Tarek throwing that flash from Cat, we're trying to see what they can see in middle. Or you try to gamble and just try to stack towards the bomb site. That's two of the main responses to a situation like this if you're NRG. Na'Vi are already slow rolling them at this point. It's two players in mid now, finally starting to push. There's that smoke outside of the connector, and they start to go for the A split, slowly but surely.
Na'Vi take the mid position. They haven't really committed to anything just yet, and they are really draining the utility of NRG. An incendiary through into connector, but to what effect ultimately? You can see in their own position now, 48 split. Nobody in the short area, two-man rotation from the B bomb site, so Stanislaw has to deliver. So far so good, he takes two. Ethan tries to commit as well, can't do too much. Breezes at AWP, 25 seconds to bomb drop. They're trying to trade, but it might not be too much. 1v1, Simple has to race. Does he know? He has no idea where Tarek is. He's in CT. There's only one place really, or 1.5 places for Simple to plant the bomb, and this is one of them, inviting the peak, but there is no peak just yet. Simple realizes, oh, he's not going to go deep enough actually. He's going to be completely exposed. Tarek picks at a perfect time, and they're back.
NRG looking good. What a beautiful round from Stanislaw. Again, I have to say this, Stanislaw he's one of the coolest cucumbers you can possibly find in the professionals Counter-Strike. He just looked always so incredibly calm. He's got his position. 3 players are rushing him down, and he's so calm here. So incredibly calm, easily taking down 2 players, and that was obviously so pivotal, especially considering that Ethan couldn't get too much around connector. So here we go, back into it, and NRG's economy is not established yet, and Na'Vi spent everything. They get the AWP onto Simple. This round is where Na'Vi could really steal away the momentum. And they are going to be going towards the A bomb site with 4 players and Simple's in Palace with that AWP. We set it up, or rather I should say the analyst set it up on the desk. This is Simple's map. This is where Na'Vi need him to have his best performance of the entire major, and he's been given a lot of responsibility.
You will notice most snipers who go into Palace at the beginning of a round, they'll scope in early. So once they make it to the end of Palace, they won't compromise their position by scoping in then. The element of surprise so important in Counter-Strike, and Na'Vi will look to take NRG by surprise on this approach towards the A bomb site. I like the angle from Breeze though. He's going to be very important in trying to do something. Na'Vi pretty low on utility, looking for an entry. Now Simple's posted up, and again, there's no warning that there's a sniper in this position because he scoped in much earlier. He just creeps all the way with good timing. Smoke at the top of connector. Breeze is harassing. Boomich is in position. That draws Cirque's attention. He has to fear a boost as well. Breeze taking a lot of damage in that short area. 40 seconds, and Na'Vi are going to be able to burst on his bomb site really quickly. Electronic falls, however. Stan has an angle to help his teammate. Cirque has been picked off finally by Simple on the rotation. Comes out wide from Palace, and there the trades continue. Man advantage now for Na'Vi. Won't last too long as they plant the bomb on A.
But quickly, Breeze goes around from CT. There's a quick flashbang. Oh my God, Flamey defends it somehow, and that leaves everything on the shoulders of Tarek as he edges his way forwards from jungle, looking for that first frag, that first peak, that first player to punish, as he now starts to check CT. Where he has to find one of these 2 players. He has to bait one of them out, and they must hear him. They know exactly where he is. He taps the bomb. He's trying to force that peak. He needs a frag sooner than later. It's starting to get very desperate. He doesn't have a smoke. He's going to throw the flashbang, trying to get somebody to peek. Just won't do it, and finally Flamey ends it, and he hits the shot. 4K for Flamey, decimating the defense on this round. Great stuff from him, and Na'Vi 2 against the 3, but more importantly, James, they've broken the money of NRG.
They have indeed. A really rough round. Na'Vi looking a lot more prepared on Mirage versus Dust 2, and it seems the 4 spies will continue until somebody gets a consecutive round. That was a huge save from Flamey. It wasn't clear that Tarek had all the information in that situation because he was looking towards Palace when he first came through. NRG with a two-man push in the underpass position. Will it be checked for? Zew's got to be careful. There's a crossfire can bait with his teammate. Electronic engaging, and it's taken care of. Zeus will fall, however, but that gun will not be retrieved. I'm sure it can be thrown over the wall, where you throw the smokes towards the window position. Na'Vi will look to clear area, make sure there's no other shenanigans going on around that position. In the meantime, you can see the YouTube setup on the A ramp position. Cirque and Ethan, who's having a look at Palace for the time being. Maybe they'll push. They've got to do something. They've got to find an opening somewhere, NRG.
You know, NRG to be very dangerous indeed. In situations like this, there's plenty of time, and Na'Vi aren't really in position just yet. They're fairly spread out. The bomb is collected and begins to make its way towards the B apartments. Stanislaw has been actually one of the most dangerous players, and he is the guy tasked with that B defense. It looks like actually the bomb will be rotated out now towards middle, which is sensible, moving with the pack. Quick Molotov there towards the window to deny a peek as they make their way up catwalk, and a smoke as well to be as safe as possible. Ethan, fast timing on the flank. Actually, the timing for Ethan's going to be really, really good. Stan, he needed to survive longer than that and delay them, but Flamey, he is not messing around. It looks like he's been activated, James. He's come online.
Ethan picks up an MP9, and it seems it's an exit strategy now for NRG. Bomb planted with 13 seconds on the clock. High ground is so important for the Ts and the CTs, holding the bomb site, retaking the bomb site. That high ground is often key, but it will not be challenged on this occasion. NRG will simply try to pick up something, some bonus money, a better weapon, something along those lines. Ethan seems to be caught off guard there. So only Cirque now to save his Kevlar and a 5-7. So here is that consecutive round we were looking for, and it will go to Na'Vi, which puts NRG's money in the bin. Their loss bonus is not spectacular, to say the least. Simple, not happy just yet, but perhaps it will come.
Yeah, I'm really curious what NRG's approaches will be in some of the future rounds. It's been really awesome to watch when they've been deciding to go aggressive, because, for example, that one round we had like the A ramp push, then the Palace push, then it just pushes all over the place, and it's really fun to watch. But of course, we saw that in the chaos that did actually end up helping Na'Vi. They ended up converting that 3v3, and that was quite a few rounds ago, and that's really set Na'Vi up, it seems, to have some of these, well, to be in the position now where they have the momentum. So another save coming in for NRG, so they can have absolutely everything in the following rounds, and they will stack towards this B bomb site, this A bomb site, I should say, moving into the Palace with 3 players and looking to see if they can catch one off guard, but there's no one there. I think Flamey got some sound cues though, and you can see Electronic will post up to cover Flamey's flank as Flamey looks towards A ramp, so they have detected where most of NRG are.
Who would you have for GoTV picks in this game of Mirage, Dan? For me, it's got to be all eyes on Na'Vi, because it's up to them to have a performance in this series, which hasn't happened just yet.
Simple's the man that needs to really shine in this one. We need to see him hit his peak. We need to see him hit flow states.
I don't think just Simple's going to be enough, though. I think he's going to need the likes of Electronic, Boomich, and Flamey.
Well, I mean, he's been the only one that's not been kind of at the level that you want to see, that you'd expect. I feel like we have seen good stuff from Flamey for sure, which is always important. Flamey, this is one of Flamey's best maps as well.
And Na'Vi making the right choice, it seems, if they go for the B split once again. Don't want the clock to run down too much, though. Tarek with the Zeus will be taken up from the back, and that is the only person on the bomb site to be dealt with. We've got Ethan in the market position. 3 USPs and Cirque with his saved 5-7. We'll look to save some money. Speaking of 5-7s, Zeus, against giving all the guns to his teammates. Holding that high ground, Electronic creeping through, and we've got a battle of the 5-7s now, and maybe Cirque can try and keep people close to the bomb to make it a little more expensive for them. But again, he's got his Kevlar to hold on to. Any money that an AWPer can save is always going to be important for the long term.
Ooh! Little ring of the bell there from Cirque, but no more than that. Okay, so we move into the buy round for NRG, and the unfortunate thing here is that Cirque didn't have enough money to get an AWP, and that might be pretty pivotal. We talked about NRG's aggression. I think we're in a situation where they kind of have to play more aggressively here. They're playing against Na'Vi, who have everything, and NRG are lacking utility, and they're lacking a sniper rifle, and there's only one kit, and it's on Ethan. So what do they do to mitigate the disadvantage they have?
Aggression, Dan. Ruthless aggression. Players moving up the mid position. Na'Vi seems to have no idea. The flashbangs will favour somebody, but who? We got Trace, we got Electronic hiding around the smoke. Comes out at the right time. There goes Breeze. Cirque's in a tight spot. And he's going to fall as well. 2 players remain for NRG. Make it 1. They have been annihilated in this mid position. 4 players alive for Na'Vi as they look for Stanislaw. And there will be Flamey keeping the A site honest. And Stan may be caught off guard. Simple rotating into B with the bomb, eventually having a look through connector just in case. You can see Flamey continues to creep, and Stan will be able to take him out at the very least, get himself an upgrade. We'll see what he chooses to do, but Na'Vi looks strong on Mirage.
Yeah, if he can save this creek, that would be a huge boon to the next round. It will be a save for NRG, but they can invest a little bit. If they can invest a little bit around the creek.
They haven't planted a bomb just yet. Simple was prioritizing holding the angle. His legs were showing, at least on the X-ray, and I did wonder if Stan would try and get something done.
Oh, they are spreading out pretty far away from the bomb right now. But Stan can't know that.
He can't know that. It wouldn't make sense for him to make a play forward, although if he hears Electronic now, does that encourage him to go towards the bomb site? He hasn't got a kit.
Yeah. You can maybe do some extra damage, make this a little bit spicy right at the end of the rounds. And there's Zeus. He spotted the back of one player. Now he's got... Oh, that would have been a great pickup to take down Simple there. I don't think he would have been traded straight away. So that could have been a lot of economic damage, but instead everything goes away for NRG. They'll have to buy a few pistols here and be content with that. And Na'Vi starting to establish some momentum here. And that looked really crushing for NRG, but we set it up. They didn't have the utility or a sniper rifle to really play a long drawn-out round, so they had to take the action to Na'Vi. They did so in middle, and they got shut down.
Now they broke $2,000 to $3,000 for NRG. I'm not quite getting started on this game of Mirage just yet. 4 rounds in a row now for Na'Vi, and let's not forget, NRG won the pistol, so it's basically a 5-1 scoreline in that respect. So a lot of strength for Na'Vi at the moment. Attack pause from NRG won't last much longer. Hits 0, and we're back into the game. Some discussion as to how to turn things around in the round to come. And we've seen the CT aggression. They've come into this prepared NRG. They've got their setups. They've got the plays in the underpass, the plays towards top mid. But again, the variance with the flashbangs did not go their way. Went from bad to worse in that mid position, and the round was won and lost there. It was fought for and lost. So a Deagle, a P250, the odd grenade for NRG. Perhaps there is a burst play with a flashbang to be had. Na'Vi are in anti-eco territory, which is still very dangerous, as we saw on Dust 2.
The flash, Beamish has been caught, but he's safe, it seems. Pistols won't commit too deep, and Beamish is going to hear all the stepping. Ethan and Breeze tasked with the lone Deagles on the team, and Samuelsall goes down. There's the next peak, but it's the third one to be good. Ethan with that Deagle providing the kill that was needed, but Electronic will trade him out. So now it's just down to Breeze to get some more damage with his Deagle, but he's a bit far away from the action right now. It will be on Tarek playing Ninja with that USP. And will the flame spread to him? It looks like he should be safe. And there it is. I was going to say, Simple should absolutely see him, and Breeze will rotate around. So again, looking for that headshot. Na'Vi trying to find where Breeze is going to be attacking from. They know he's going to be looking for damage in a round like this. You know that the full buy comes in regardless. Breeze, can he steal away a weapon? Nice headshot. 3 players to go. Finds a smoke grenade as well. Is he looking for damage here? The economy's pretty crazy for Na'Vi. It would be nice to get more frags. And he might find one. Playing around the smoke, Zeus gets the 1v1. And that's another round picked up by Na'Vi, but now things get serious again. NRG with the full buy, James. They're going to pick up double orbs.
Indeed they are. Tarek, a dab hand with an AWP, will pick up the second one. We'll see what Na'Vi have to offer. Double the score of their opponent, but it's still fairly close. It's early days here on Mirage, but it won't be early for too long. And it's time for NRG to wake up. Let's see where Tarek goes with the second AWP. Zeus with a smoke up on short. They can Molotov connector from behind it if they want to. Simple will be going towards top mid. There's a Molotov. He's got an AWP of his own to play with. Ethan and Cirque on either side of the smoke in that connector position now. Where Tarek is standing, you can throw, well, where he was before, you can throw a flashbang without being spotted. It goes out the window and compromises his position, but he's a bit more forward now. We've got a fast boost into the window. A minute 27, but Bumic gave a sound cue away, and that might be heard by Cirque, who goes to have a look through the corner of the wall, straight through the face. Close casket funeral, goodbye.
That is not a bad shot to connect Cirque. That is so important, and that's going to deny some more forward positioning from Na'Vi.
If they didn't make a sound when they tried to boost, I wonder if Cirque would have ran back to peek in the first place.
Yeah, looking for that punish, and he is successful. The utility's gone for NRG now, but they do have those double offs. They do have 5 players alive, and it's Na'Vi that's, you know, it's on them to find a play. And they've been denied that forward positioning in middle, so all they have left there is Zeus to play the to cut off rotations, and he's going to take down Breeze. That's a big 1v1 to win in middle. And in the meantime, Na'Vi will set themselves up for an attack onto the A-bomb site.
Look at the response from Tarek. You just saw him edge forward with the AWP. He needs the information now. They've lost a man, but he's choosing to go passive, or maybe realizing he's being baited anyway. We've got the grenades into the A-bomb site. There are 3 CTs here, although Stan's going to be isolated. Cirque moving forward will never leave those flames again. Stan's got to find multiple frags. He won't have any grenades coming his way just yet from his teammates, and he will die before they can get into position. Only a Molotov to offer anyway. The likes of Ethan going through the smoke, which leaves Tarek alone. 8 seconds to plant the bomb. Can he find an angle? It's used around that default position. Simple planting. The bomb's down.
Tarek is in such a bad position. He knows where both players are now, though. Can he find the shots? With an AWP, no less, it's so difficult. The quick scopes are going to have to be real here for Tarek as he pushes forward. Does have a kick, goes wide, but Simple gets the catch onto him. And that will be another round for Na'Vi. And they are doing some serious damage now, James. NRG are struggling to find ways to take these rounds on their CT side.
$3,500. Once again, NRG's economy is in the bin. See, bite off Molotov from connector. Either side of default, can't plant the bomb. Then you can spray triple, and you got GG. But it wasn't there. There we go. Those are the flicks. So the flicks we saw Simple miss on the previous map on Dust 2, that infamous 1 round on long. I watched the Ron Rambo Kim's video about Simple and his aim and how he warms up, and those flicks are exactly, he trains for those. He trains for those flicks specifically. So to see him missing multiple flicks in that situation is quite scary stuff for Na'Vi, but you see him deliver one there, and maybe he can continue in such a fashion. Again, it is poverty for NRG. We've got a forward play from Breeze, but now he's dead.
Yeah, again, we've seen a lot of rounds like this now for NRG, where we're looking for them with a couple of deagles to try to get some damage in, and they got information, they got forward positioning towards Palace. Got Ethan in there with the 5-7. They smoked off a ramp, and that's going to then lead them to decide to stack towards B. And we'll see if they will get anything out of this. And in comes Na'Vi towards Catwalk. Will they commit towards that B-bomb site? They have Electronic in connector. He's no forward player towards A to maybe figure out that A is clear, but we'll see if that's the case here. One of the cool things about Ethan's position is if he hears the bomb get planted, he might be able to do some sneaky stuff there.
With Stan staying in Palace, worst case scenario, with time low on the clock and a frag like that, he could peek out and stop the bomb from being planted, but he looks to be going into a flanking position towards the ramp, and maybe Palace would be obvious. You can see Na'Vi wondering about the A-bomb site, so Stan's position is going to be very, very key. Na'Vi can hear the rotations towards CT. They know time is of the essence, and again, you can see Flamey. He had the angle for Palace, so Stan probably would have died anyway, but he's coming up towards the ramp. He can run distraction with his teammates coming from CT. He's got to wait for them to hold focus. Flamey's in that sandwich position. You can see him spraying, moving back now, but he's not thinking about the ramp. He'll die from the CT position. They still might not know about Stan's area. He did fire a shot, but it is close comms to really clarify that. And there he is, Stan again, taking Simple out now. Na'Vi are losing position of this bomb. Cirque in a 1 versus 2, trying to draw out more. He hasn't got a kit. Zeus got to be careful, taking some damage there. Cirque up high now. He won't defuse the bomb. Maybe it's time to try and save the rifle. And it is 8 rounds for Na'Vi.
Yeah, no kit, no chance. It was a good effort, good damage done, and that's going to be a great weapon to carry into the following round here for NRG. They need to start scraping together some rounds. It is getting worse and worse as Na'Vi move to 8. NRG will have around $6,000 on pretty much everybody. And with Cirque saving that AK-47, he can drop that to a teammate, pick up an AWP. And I wonder if we'll see a very passive approach for NRG now. They've really tried to disrupt Na'Vi's game plan by getting those kills, getting that pressure on very early, by taking forward positions away very early to punish defaults and so on. But it's not really panned out for them. So at this point, you may just expect them to play more passively and see if that change of pace will work out.
8 rounds for Na'Vi. Double AWPs once again for NRG. It has now been 7 rounds in a row for Na'Vi by elimination or detonation. That's just not a nice way to end your participation in a round, getting blasted by the rug shop, which is not even open, can't even buy a rug. Right, again, excluding the pistol, NRG have won 1 round out of 11. Out of 9, rather. Boomich makes his way towards the mid position. Cirque delivers a kill, but he might feel like he's stuck in the corner of that window. Tarek goes aggressive once again towards B bomb site. So many targets, hard to see through the flames, but he manages to escape. But can he get into a better position? Seems to be want to go towards Van again, but that's aborted. We've got Cirque here as well. Simple takes one in the face. 5 versus 2, 5 versus 1. This is the kind of round that NRG need. Victimization of Na'Vi and surviving in the numbers. They will all survive. Only Tarek taking damage. That is exactly the round that NRG need. It is not too late to have a close score at half-time.
I gotta say, James, I think that was salvageable for Na'Vi. I think when Tarek gets that first forward kill, Na'Vi is still not committed to the push. And you've lost a man, and the CTs know exactly what's going on. So there is, it's very difficult to call an abort in spots like that. But you know, you got to credit NRG for just landing every single shot. Tarek was flawless, coming in as well to really save it. And Na'Vi now, is this where things turn? Is this where the tide changes? As we get a very quick push into the A bomb site. Stan didn't look ready, but he still connects the headshot. But the trade is in just as quickly as Na'Vi vie for forward positioning towards that A bomb site. They'll start to use their utility to smoke away the angles, to safely find a place to plant that bomb.
While all this was going on, Zeus went into the B apartment. Somehow Breeze was all the way through B apps and took him out. Boomich is dropped. There are gaps in the smoke, but there's a trade. Simple now with the AWP. Never mind, it's Flamey versus 3. He has the bomb. He has 1:20 on the clock. He has no grenades. How does he engage the AWP? He has no idea where the third player is. I don't know if the communication's there, that there are 2 iron connector, but he's going to plant the bomb. His options are limited. The CTs know he can't go to CT. He can only be on the site, on the ramp, or in the palace.
So difficult. Back against the wall, nowhere to go. Has to land every single shot. The grenades start to do their damage, and there's just absolutely nothing he can do. The round is taken out of his hands. But you have to ask the question, how was it that Na'Vi were dying just planting the bomb after running their little set piece and throwing in the utility? How is it that they were just getting annihilated trying to plant that bomb?
Yeah, it was planted for everywhere, one of the everywhere plants. I don't know if there was it was through the corner of a smoke. There can be gaps there. But for whatever reason, here we are. NRG are clawing their way back into a reasonable score at half-time. There's still money for Na'Vi. There'll be another full buy, though it will be without an AWP. Maybe favouring the rifles. You don't always necessarily have to have an AWP on the T side of Mirage. So this is not the worst thing in the world. Seeing some more aggression from NRG. That smoke up top. Simple will be creeping behind it, but he will be devoid of information. You see the Molotov in the corner, where that gap is. Na'Vi have got a lot of players in the apartments at the moment, some moving towards the bottom of mid. Once again, there are 2 players for NRG in that connector area with very nice timing of the grenade. It's one to keep an eye on. Circa's repositioned now. 1:20 on the clock.
Well, Electronic already in that forward spawn, and he will hear the scoping from Tarek, so it's a very difficult position. He can try to go for a guess, but Tarek is going to have the advantage unless Tarek moves really close. But again, Electronic can't exactly know that. He's waiting in this position. It's a good off angle. He might be served up a free kill. We'll have to see if Tarek decides to move from this spot. He's on the gap. He's checking deep with that scope. to see what he can see, and there it is. Electronic picks the perfect timing, unlocks that B-bomb site. However, Breeze is still there towards Connector, and Cirque rotates around the market position, and he's in position to defend the bomb site. Now he can't quite go for this, and Simple gets a pick in middle. That's going to allow them to go towards that A site.
Boomich is in jungle. They've got strong positions on A. They just need to get the bomb there. However, Stan has rotated towards CT already, and Breeze is going to be an issue. He's ahead of the Molotov. Flamey could get caught with a grenade in his hand. That's a huge frag from Flamey. 20 seconds, but Stan has taken the A bomb site. Simple is down. How do they plant the bomb in a situation? A flash easily avoided by Stan. Moving forward, there's no cover. Zeus has got a gun out. There goes Flamey. 10 seconds now. 2 versus 2. That bomb plant is just not happening, is it? Or is it? Stan goes down. Cirque not in position. There might just be time.
Oh, then there is time. Time to plant the bomb, time to get the kills, and that looked like some hesitation from Stan there. It looked like initially he felt like there's no chance that they can recover the bomb in time, and then just as he repositioned, just as he jumped around the corner, he realized he made a mistake, that there was still time and that he had a better position if he would have just stayed in that spot behind the triple stack. And that indecision, James, in that moment, that cost them everything, or it cost them their best chance to secure that one. And now both teams spending all their money in this round. Na'Vi looking to get that 10-5. NRG, can they find a way to deny that? They do have everything they want. Tarek going forward, but Simple's already there. Did he see it? I think he did. He knows where he is, on the corner, in the right side. Tarek saw it as well. Drops the smoke. Forced to drop a smoke early. Not ideal for Tarek, but at least he doesn't lose his life.
The setup from Tarek in the previous round, where he had a teammate flash for him, reminded me of the pistol rounds from Cloud9 when Tarek was on the team. There was a really good example versus Ninjas in Pajamas of the pop flash plays. No connections either way. Crowd rousing for Na'Vi now. 1 minute on the clock. A meaty grenade taken by Breeze. Now this is a Mihu-esque smoke on the short position. If you're in the corner of short and bounce your smoke off the corner of the door, it lands here. What you can do is look in the underpass. You can jump on the bricks as well and look over the top at top mid. There's a lot of funky things you can do with it. Don't see it often enough, but Na'Vi seem poised to push the A-bomb site.
There's a forward setup here for NRG, which might be very difficult to stop. Stanislaw is close, and that flashback goes for the preemptive peek for the flash, and it's not going to work out. Doesn't get a single kill. Down to Ethan now by default to do the damage. Cirque can't find a shot. Ethan, though, executes Boomich, looking for another, but he will be assassinated by Zeus, and now it's down to Tarek and Breeze. This is the last round. They have to go for it. Tarek looks for a timing as he creeps up behind the smoke. Breeze has found his way forwards and goes for the transfer. It's not going to work out. Down to Tarek now. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Great shot from Tarek. No punish from Electronic. Forced to go for the bomb plant. Tarek knows it. This is an opportunity. There's no fake. Now he knows. As Electronic tries to fall back, tries to hold the off angles, tries to catch Tarek rounding the corner around triple. And Tarek waits to see if Electronic will make a play here as he throws the high flash. Trying to bait out Electronic. Doesn't know exactly where he is. Electronic might have to jump on this one, and he does! Electronic secures it. 10-5 for Na'Vi at the end of the first half.
Na'Vi are back. 14 for 9 Electronic. A landslide of rounds in the first half. Can they close it out and take it to a third? Find out after the break. And we're back. No, it's my turn, Dan.
I'm sorry.
It's me.
Sorry.
It's not your turn, it's my turn. What's up, Berlin? Who wants to see a third map? Come on, more people. Come on, come on, come on. I would love to see a third map. Looks like Na'Vi are warming up, but they might not be hot just yet. Nuke would be the third. It would be the decider unless NRG can close it out here. They've got a lot of work to do. They're on the pistol. Ethan and Stan with the grenades. No P250s, as I love to see. We've got a decoy as well for Stan, and sometimes decoys can be useful as a fake flash or something along those lines, but Zeus is getting very aggressive, and surely he's been heard. So many footsteps, but Boomich is here to deliver.
That's a good opening kill. He'll at least lighten the push into that B-bomb side, but it's just going to be Electronic who's there. He's not looking confident to go through the market just yet, holding back, and Simple's going to go down. Ethan finds a shot through the smoke, and now Electronic and Flamey are in a very bad position because NRG can just take the run of the map. They've got positioning towards A. They're going to go for that. It's more guaranteed. Flamey takes one straight to the face at distance by Ticket, looking for some clean shots here, but it's nothing that he can find, and Electronic needs a quad kill. Clutch, but he's absolutely denied, and that's good to see for Ethan's sake. James, he had 3 kills in the first half, and now he's just got 3 kills in the first round of the second half. So
welcome back to
there you
Ethan.
go. He's doubled his score.
Really nice. So that gets the cheap helmet after the round. It was your turn, by the way, Dan. I'm sorry.
I
wasn't lying though. I made a mistake. 4 rounds for Na'Vi to consider their options to try and thwart NRG from a comeback. And it will be a force buy in this round from Na'Vi. We've got Simple with the scout. That's something we love to see. Go TV pick for this round would be Simple. The moving speed of the scout is just so nice. It's refreshing. The flicks can be quite solid. I was wondering if he's looking for a timing pick or timing attempt through the smoke, but he does not reveal his weapon just yet. Now, I think with the smoke and connector NRG, that will be enough information to realize that it is indeed a force buy. The question is, how do they choose to deal with it? Wherever they choose to go, they've got 1 Molotov at this point, NRG. So we might just see some carnage.
Yeah, the late mid-take comes in, and it will be empty as far as they can see so far. Na'Vi with a couple smokes here to delay things even further for NRG. We've seen how many problems there are if you run out of time on a round like this and are forced to just push stuff without being able to check stuff correctly. And they just have to wait that one out.
Well, they've got to wait a lot out if the CTs can't get positions. Boomich is on short with another smoke. He could smoke this position. Ooh. It's going to be one actually thrown by Zeus. They'll try and hold on to the short area rather than re-smoke the connector position. They don't have any success there. Boomich somehow sneaks his way into the ladder room, and there are the tags from Simple. He can have another go. They've got to be really careful on his push NRG. Simple seems to be aware of a potential Palace push. Flamey's on the ramp though, but he can't. He will stop the bomb from getting planted. And Breeze is in the red as well. He's walking into a crossfire, but there are a flurry of frags from NRG, and all of a sudden Flamey's the last man standing. But we've still got plays in the red for NRG. 1 versus 2, the small damage has been done, big damage required now. The last 2 players won't happen, and it's another round in the bag for NRG.
That was getting so scary. Flamey just popping people off. That's insane. Oh my god. Well, it is controlled at the end, but they lost quite a lot of money that maybe they shouldn't have. But that's what happens when you've got players on the server that are this good. We'll get the 4 buy coming out from NRG. There will be some concessions, a UMP for Stanislaw. It's not what you want to see, but that's okay, because they're against a full save. And Flamey's left a lot in the bank there, $3,400 for him, and that's because Simple spent quite a lot. He needs that AWP in the next round, so see if they can get that on him. And Na'Vi go for the B stack. NRG taking things slow. Breeze will find Zeus in middle. And just a deagle on Simple, and a P250 on Boomich and Electronic. That's all the firepower that really exists in this round for Na'Vi. If they could get a couple kills, I think they'll be very happy with that, James.
What flash in the underpass? I think it was NIP who used to throw HE grenades down there on occasion. And also, over from a CT perspective, over a ramp towards where you might throw smoke grenades from. Don't see them throwing any more though. For people at home and people in the arena, send us pictures of how you are watching this major. Your setups at home, selfies with your mates, get the beers in. It is Germany after all. 50 seconds on the clock, and NRG seem to have avoided the stack of the B-bomb site. Cirque rotating the bomb towards A. Tariq and Stan making their way through connector. It's all nice and quiet, plenty of utility, but the element of surprise is so important. So they won't telegraph their positions by throwing the usual smokes and flashes. They will use guns instead. So it's a lot harder to respond to if you don't have those sound cues.
All right, well, there it is. And a bomb is going to go off in about 40 seconds, and there's nothing Na'Vi can do about it. But perhaps they can get a kill if NRG was to try to hunt. And that's the thing here, is that there's no incentive really for NRG to hunt. All they risk is, a full buy, a player with a full buy, with all that, maybe like $4,000 to $5,000 of equipment, and to do what? To take down players. You have no Kevlar, you have maybe a P250. So it's just not worth it. The maths don't really add up in that sense. Stan, who has a UMP, though, will make a forward play. Perhaps he can get some bonuses on some players who might be in some positions that are easy to deal with. But there you go. Bomb will go off, and it looks like everyone for Na'Vi, almost everyone will survive. Actually, Boomich, almost got a kill there. I can see on my screen right at the end, but there it is. So 10 rounds for Na'Vi, 8 rounds for NRG. That's where we're at. And NRG are looking good here, James, to equalize. If they can convert this round where Na'Vi are going for their full buy, we're going to have a really close scoreline.
Will this guy absolve me of my sins if I go and say hello to him? 2-round lead for Na'Vi now. Both teams on the buy. We've got some grenades towards the mid position and some bodies from NRG. Simple, considering his options. That's a high smoke grenade, which could suggest a split of the A bomb site, but there is of the B bomb site, excuse me. There is a T smoke up on the short position as well. Simple's found a gap. He's fishing for something. He's looking for an opportunity. But he won't get anything. He won't outstay his welcome. Having a look towards Palace. No one there just yet. Ethan is towards the ramp, however, with 4 players in mid for NRG.
And I'm wondering if they'll try to get a flash in for Simple to get a peek in here. Simple also has a flash, but there, okay, we got the responsible stuff there from NRG, smoking up that window position. It can be very dangerous to deal with, and instead Na'Vi will be forced to go around towards Connector, and there's Surge, and the flashbang is going to brutalize Na'Vi's defense. They are going to be sent pale between legs, or perhaps all the way to the B bomb site, perhaps all the way to a save change, because they have no utility, and they have no position, and they have no right to challenge for this round at this point, as we'll see NRG comfortably sitting with 5 players alive on the bomb site.
Nobody likes to be told it's over, but this round certainly is. Na'Vi have to hold on to what they can. Maybe some memories of the first map going their way. Again, if you are just joining us, it is 1-0. A convincing 1-0 in the first map to NRG. A lot of questions as to the plays from Na'Vi on the desk. But here on a second map, things are looking more promising, but the score is getting closer. NRG will be building some money now. So when Na'Vi do pull a round back, there'll be so much pressure from NRG. Na'Vi haven't won a round in this half just yet. We didn't see many rounds won in the first half from a CT side, and maybe it'll be the same. How are you going to just cover your girlfriend's face with a sign, dude? That's BM. That's kind of rude. All right, Na'Vi, $3,500 on average. They've got a rifle here and there. It's a tactical timeout from Na'Vi. There we go.
Yeah, I'm curious what the options will be like here for them. They may try to go for an approach like we saw NRG go for on their CT side, although it didn't really work out too well for NRG, where you try to be very disruptive at the early phase of the round. So in the setup portion of a T side, you're looking to take down a player. You're looking to cut off certain areas of the map where that T game plan is built up around to kind of cause chaos and to really throw the T side into a mid-round situation where you perhaps maybe even have the advantage in certain cases if you manage to get the kills. And that might be the play here for Na'Vi, but considering that they only have 3 rifles here and a lot of utility, they may opt to play quite passively and just try to spring on NRG. Mid is denied for NRG at the early portions of this round. NRG is spread out towards the B apartments and a ramp and palace as well. So looking to play a slow rounds. Try to get some information as to what Na'Vi are up to. And Na'Vi have dumped all their utility right at the beginning of the round here, James.
5 smokes were up at the same time a second ago. 4 smokes remain, 3 of which are with NRG. So with the map control they have, Cirque passive towards top mid, 2 players in the apartments, Ethan on the ramp and Stan on the palace. The initial goal of NRG is to look for any pushes from Na'Vi, and with 3 rifles and 2 pistols and not the whole world of utility, you would expect to see Tisa try and make some kind of aggressive play, but maybe Na'Vi know that they are expected to do that, so they won't do anything too crazy. But we've got a very deep smoke grenade being thrown on the B bomb site from Zeus, who has one of the 3 rifles. Boomich still with some presence in the mid position, but NRG have rotated 4 of their players towards A. That timing is absolutely perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great way to start, and maybe that gives them a clue as to what's happening. 4 Na'Vi players rotate in. Flamey's there close behind default. Boomich picks up another one. Now NRG are in trouble. Boomich absolutely decimating absolutely everyone. What a play from him. That is amazing. Picks up that first one through the smoke, swings through towards bench, and cuts down the push before it can even get started. That is what you need to see for Na'Vi. And James, they had nothing. They had They had 3 rifles.
That is a lot more than nothing.
And a handful of grenades. They didn't have an AWP. They did not have a full buy.
They do now, though. They take the AWP away from the previous round. The 2 players with pistols pick up some rifles, and their buy gets a lot stronger. Not losing a single player. That is, well, it's perfect. NRG offering a fast round towards the A bomb site. There's a deep HE there, to do some nice damage. Flamey trying to fall back. So many flashbangs stuck just behind the triple position, waiting for somebody to move forward. This can catch players off guard. Out he comes. Tarek, though, will hold things down. And Na'Vi are back where they started with 3 rifles once again.
They might be able to go for this one, though. We'll see. Simple's in the forward position. He's going to actually get out of the connector. It's a little bit hot over by connector. 3 Ts are in that vicinity. As Breeze goes in to try to cut off the rotation out of middle and try to do more economic damage. But it looks like Na'Vi might be able to keep these players all alive here. Zeus is perhaps at most at risk at this point, but he also is in a fairly good position to move towards market safely. And indeed, for now, Na'Vi will keep all these 3 alive. Okay, well, I spoke too soon. Zeus goes back to the market and he gets punished for it as Boomich tries to hold towards T spawn.
This is a problem. Once again, let's not forget, Na'Vi have won 1 round in this half, and the round they win is where they have 3 pistols and NRG essentially push into a stack. So outside of that, which you cannot expect to replicate, we need to look at these buy versus buys, and they're not quite working out. NRG just turning the knife in the side of Na'Vi, a fast play into the A bomb site, abusing the numbers advantage before Na'Vi can really even just post up in that round. However, Na'Vi able to buy around what they had thanks to that eco round, so it's buy versus buy once again.
Yeah, that A fast A contact is so strong sometimes, but maybe no time to go into that because we get a round towards B that's just as quick. They have to wade through all the grenade damage. It might be too much to handle. Breeze with an important kill onto Boomich, but the problem is that they're not out of the apartments just yet. Simple taking down player after player, and now it's down to Tarek against 3. Has to find a way to deal with Simple, but they are locked away in the market position. Tarek, if he can make a forward play here, maybe that's it. Takes down Electronic, quick flashbang through the window, trying to get some information, trying to get another player down, and he knows that actually he's pushed them all the way back in market. He's created so much space for himself in this 1 versus 2.
Unbelievable effort from Tarek already. The area he's just forced away from the CTs is ridiculous. Now where is he? That's the question. We see a rotation from Simple, creeping on shot, but he's missed his shot. 1v1. He doesn't know where Flamey is, but he may soon find out. Straight into the crosshairs. Tarek with a nuclear clutch, and the score is tied.
Big round from the man Tarek. Again, I just cannot emphasize enough how amazing it is that he managed to create so much space. He's against 3 players, they're all in the market. He finds 1 pick, he uses his utility to force back the other players. He clears that, he gets that information as well with his swing, and then he just knows exactly how to play it, how to peek it, and how to clutch it. NRG, what a pivotal moment for them. They've almost broken the money of Na'Vi. They need to just get one more big buy. Of course, Na'Vi have that big loss bonus working in their favor, but NRG, around like that, winning around like that, it really raises the spirits and it lights everybody's energy on fire. And they're going to be hard to deal with in these coming rounds as they take the tactical, actually, NRG. Even though Na'Vi were the ones to be on the receiving end of that clutch.
Just imagine the thumbnail that's going to go along with that highlight for Tarek on his YouTube account. Eyeballs are going to be all over the place.
That was something special from Tarek.
It's a rousing clutch from Tarek. It's a rousing clutch. It's what they need when they've got so much opportunity to take it in two. Once again, both teams are somehow on the bye. Breeze has got a Mach 10. Only one player doesn't have a helmet, but that moving accuracy can be enough to drive bys. The two-pack and biggie weapon. Stanislaw gets taken out by Simple, and maybe it's his turn to deliver now. Lovely frick from Simple. Simple and Electronic. That's the duo you want activated here on Mirage. Zeus falls on the B bomb site, being victimized by what remains of NRG. Tarek dropping off, Cirque staying on the high ground as they try to defend B.
And this is a problem. It's a 2 versus 4. Simple started it off so well, but very good call to get straight into B. They had a timing window in the 2v1 and they took it. And now Cirque and Tarek are the ones left in this 2v1. They've got time, they've got post-plant positions. Na'Vi will be coming in from pretty much everywhere. Tarek will find that out the hard way, taking some damage there. Down to 46, Cirque with a fantastic response. Knows one is in the apartments. Running distraction. Cirque though, he is no fool. Picks up another kill, but it's all on him. A 1 versus 4. Cirque with 3. One more to go as Flamey makes his way forwards, and Cirque knows exactly where he is. There goes the flick. He can't land it. It's almost there, but Flamey takes the kill. But there's no time, and he's going to back, and Cirque has done it. That is outrageous. How are NRG pulling these rounds back? I can't imagine the dent that will do to the morale of Na'Vi.
NRG cannot be stopped on Mirage. Whether they go A, whether they go B, they victimize Na'Vi time and time again. Still, the only round Na'Vi have won in this half is the round with 3 rifles with an A stack. That's it. That's the only highlight they've had. Cirque 21 for 12 at the moment, and he's looking for more. He's hungry for more. He's got a Krieg on this occasion, of course. He did die after winning, well, before winning the round, or I guess during. Anyway, NRG posted up now on the A bomb side. They're keeping it extremely simple, not doing it overly complicated. Just bursting from site to site. Minimal time for Na'Vi to respond.
Yeah, keeping that presence really high here towards that A-bomb site. Lots of grenades going in, making it really difficult here for the CT side to hold on. It's going to be a huge challenge to get back into this bomb site. They do have retake utility. Boomich with a forward position. They haven't spotted him just yet, but Stan turns around in time, deals with Boomich, and now there's 3 for Na'Vi coming back in for the retake.
You start to wonder if it's the end of the line for Na'Vi. 3v3 with... They've got a diffuse kit on Zeus, who's in that short position. They seem to be considering it, but surely that is the big red button. They've got to cancel. They don't have position. They're limited on time. They've got to hold on to what they can. And once again, NRG will expect an aggressive play in the next round. They know Simple's alive. They know there's an AWP. And they know they're 3 rounds away from victory.
NRG are really stepping up here. It's so good to see in a playoff format, and they are pushing Na'Vi to the limits. Na'Vi need to find something. Na'Vi's economy not in the best place in the world, but because of the loss bonus, of course, they are able to get the buys in, and the orbs will continue for Simple, which is perhaps one of the most important things, of course, for their success on Mirage. And NRG, I feel like, James, they're entering this territory where it doesn't feel like you can make any wrong move. Everything that your intuition is telling you is exactly what you need to do to win. They can move forwards throughout the map with so much fluidity, with so much confidence.
In terms of form, they might just be the best team at the major right now.
It is crazy, isn't it? Cirque is 22 for 12 right now. He is having quite the game. And Tarek as well, 18 for 14. They're doing some damage.
Yeah, but let's not forget, Na'Vi were looking strong earlier. And there's only 2 rounds between the teams. That said, Na'Vi have won 1 round in this half. And the half is almost over. And if the half is over soon, they may not have any more halves to play in this major. Simple on AWP, the only one on the server for this particular round. Waiting, and again, NRG maybe looking for an aggressive play. They will, for the most part, keep things honest, and that's a great response from Zeus. About time he inflicted some pain on his opponent in this position.
And that does make things a little bit easier, but Of course, so much more work to be done. Again, you know, NRG have shown now time and again that they are really confident in these clutches when they're down a player or two. They still manage to find a way back into the round. And they have middle, or at least they're working on full middle control. Of course, they need to get connector or shorts. And they are working on that connector control now. We get the deep connector smoke. That is the must-learn smoke if you are going to be smoking that position as a T player. So you can take it over, and we'll see Ethan moving forwards there into position. And simple is key here. The one thing that blows up a play like this, push through connector, is the AWPer from Ticket.
They're going to be low on flashbangs, but a high on rifles. Flamey delivering from default. Simple has nothing working for him right now. Flamey so key on default. Doesn't know where Stanislaw is just now. The bomb's on the floor. The rotation's coming in, and the time is low for Stan. He sees the shadow. He's looking for the trade fraggers. There's one of them. He can't find anything. He finds something now. 20 seconds. He can still do this. Rotating around default, but Flamey's not shy. He's not afraid. And now it's 12 to 13. You can see how badly Simple wants this. You can see the fist pumps.
That's so mad. I feel like if Stanislaw doesn't have so much time pressure, I feel like he gets that kill on default. You can see he was waiting for the peak, but eventually his hand is forced. He gets the nade out, and that's the moment where the big peak comes, where Flamey would have gone down immediately, and maybe everything would have been different. But Na'Vi, they needed that so badly. That round came at a key moment. Flamey is playing really well here for them, and it's going to be really crazy to see if they can find a way to bring this one back. Spending all their money once again, as is NRG. All the money's been thrown into the middle of the table here for this round as Flamey goes close on the A-ramp, and we get another fast-moving round here. To set up with Electronic as well. Trade comes in, but it will favor NRG as they push forwards. Will Simple go ahead of the smoke? He's flashed off. Surely he can't go forwards, but Simple finds a way. But there is the trade, just as quick from Cirque.
No molly by the bench. He gets one kill. He's traded. Man advantage for NRG. Plenty of time, and the bomb's going down. It's getting planted while the smoke's up. Very, very key. Also key, Boomich is in T-spawn, and Tarek is too deep in mid to hear this, but now Boomich is alone. Cirque makes his way towards the ramp. The calls for NRG rise as they likely move to 14. Boomich has a kit. How much focus will there be for NRG? Does he consider going for it? Tarek's far away. The only person holding an angle is Ethan at the moment. And there is no challenge. You do wonder if the AWP is being saved. Ethan taken out. However, there is a player on the ramp who can stop this. The smoke doesn't go down fast enough. It's too late to defuse the bomb. Surely he will be denied. Cirque with the final frag. 14 to 12 NRG.
Right now, you know, the script really feels like there's just nothing that can stop NRG. Their momentum is really, really difficult to deal with. They are running over at Na'Vi like they are a tank, and this is a problem. Na'Vi struggling to stop the brute force approach from NRG. What will it take for Na'Vi to come back into this? I suppose this tactical pause is going to be the moment in which they try to figure out what that solution might look like. As we have just a moment to breathe, and NRG. This has been such an impressive performance so far, and they've been playing the pace game really well. A good mix of slow and fast, really trying to throw Na'Vi off their defensive timings. And we're back into it. The freeze time has begun.
Again, it is maximum loss bonus for Na'Vi. So some of them will pick up a lot. Simple's brought down to $400. Boomich 1,000. Maybe Zeus drops an AWP in the next round. It's a calculated risk from Na'Vi. They're playing 1.5 rounds. Maybe there's opportunity for them. They've had some success putting players in the right place in terms of stacks and so on. We've got a nice position with the Deagle for Flamey, if he can hold it. Simple and Boomich, though, will be important with the rifles, and Boomich has made that forward play. These are the plays that NRG were looking for in previous rounds. Perhaps they've lost focus, though, not having it here. Look at the rotation. And again, there may be some sound cues that, I don't know if Simple or Zeus could hear that. Boomich now makes his way towards the underpass, and he finds a frag onto Tarek. Now, where does he go? Do NRG spend time trying to find his position and raising questions again for Na'Vi?
Well, that's the thing too. You know, does that mean that the B defense is really light? But whatever it means, Stanislaw will find a frag onto Zeus, and Zeus is normally the B defender. Like, what does that tell them? As we've got Simple rotating into the market away from the B bomb site, because Boomich's position is so deep, and here comes the bomb.
No,
Ethan,
surely not!
and that's the bomb down in the hand hands of Boomich. He's taking some damage. Oh, he pushes forward, finds Cirque, and Cirque is going to take him down. And oh no, not like this. Na'Vi had so many things to play with in this round, but NRG, they just have an answer for absolutely everything.
Cirque has picked up the bomb and he's rotating it through the apartments. Electronic won't find the bomb, but he might find a rifle, and he would find a high ground advantage. As you can see, Cirque jumping out of the window rather than throwing the bomb for a teammate. So there's no one in the apps for NRG, so maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for Na'Vi, but Electronic actually not going through the apartments, maybe looking to hold on to the rifle. They need this money at this point. Perhaps it's too late to risk anything further based on what they have. There we go. So the M4A4 and the Galil could be used in the next round. Again, it was half a buy from Na'Vi, a calculated risk, and this will certainly help them have a better buy in the next round. But with a flank from Boomich in the apartments, Ethan going into the apartments alone with the bomb seems to be madness.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's such a fun position that Boomich put himself in, and I really felt like they had so much to play with there. But you could see he was worried about them knowing exactly where he was. He wanted a more forward position. He had to take a risk, and unfortunately, Cirque, just lethal precision. The reaction time was phenomenal, and that's it. Match point here for NRG, 15-12. Na'Vi facing elimination here at the Berlin Major, and this is going to take something special. At least they're in a 4-buy, James. At least they have everything to throw at NRG in this round to try to keep themselves alive.
If you want to support your team, then now is the time to make some noise. This might be the last round for Na'Vi, or maybe there's more fight in them. Simples on the AWP once again. They've had mixed results, and they've mostly gone the way of NRG. NRG will start with some presence towards top mid. Breeze and Cirque behind the boxes. Tariq having a look towards the apartments. And Palace has been smoked off. Again, NRG keeping the CTs honest. They've got everything covered more or less. Tariq's doing 2 jobs, but they've got Ethan and Palace. They've got Stan on the ramp. Tariq making sure there's no forward position. A luxury afforded to Na'Vi in the round prior. But having being all spread out means that there's no fast boost into the window, which they have had success with in different rounds as well.
And NRG just running their default like this, they would really punish Na'Vi if Na'Vi was to make any aggressive plays anywhere. And for Na'Vi, it starts to get a little bit worrisome because you've expended all your utility. There's very little utility remaining. They've got no flashbangs left. They've got 2 incendiaries and an HE grenade. That's it. And as far as they know, there could be a set piece coming. So that's a problem, because that means they have to live and die. But the bomb site defense, that retake becomes incredibly hard with no utility. And this is it. Everything's on the line. You've got Simple there, clearing into the connected position. Electronic gets the spot, and Cirque misses the shot. Simple connects as well. And all of a sudden, Na'Vi start to knock him down like pins at a bowling alley, and it's just Ethan left to try to do something, but they know where he is. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide for Ethan as he tries to make something happen at this terrible situation. And Na'Vi bring it back 13-15. They stay alive for at least one more.
It might be more than one more, Dan, because the money for NRG is in a really difficult spot. Breeze has got 1,400. Stan with not much more, and it looks like it's going to be a force buy. It's going to be a force buy from NRG.
Oh my.
They are only 2 rounds ahead. They've got a Mac 10 and a bunch of crap around an AWP at 15-13. They've got to use their bodies. They've got to put everything on the line. Someone's got to take a bullet for the president, and it might be Tariq with a forward position. There could be flashbangs over the top. We've got Stan creeping in mid with a P250. A big grenade taken by Tariq. They're continuing to press forwards. There are only 2 CTs here. Beeman caught the grenade in his hand, but he can still find some frags. Can he cover his teammate? He can! They've got 3 kills so far. Cirque and Stan, they could still do this though. But it's not these kills due to the pre-fire, and now Stan is alone. 1 versus 4. Na'Vi are still in this game. The force buy is ruined.
Oh my god, I think we've got to be going to overtime here. NRG have nothing in the back. They needed a bomb plant to have still a terrible force buy. Right now, all they're sitting on is about $2,000 per player. If they would have got that bomb down, they would have had just less than 3,000, which is pistols, full armor, and full nades. But now, I mean, they're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices to have utility. This is a huge problem. Na'Vi may have just done enough. Boomich, I cannot believe he was so calm when he had a player just swing in front of his face. He had no idea. Na'Vi, I think we're going to overtime here, James. It would take a catastrophe for that to not to be the case.
What a wild round. That was in terms of equipment, that was awful. NRG had 2 chances to win 1 round to take this match. They chose the force buy, they chose the junk, and they failed. And now they're left with even worse. They did rush with an AWP, which is an interesting one, but
I mean, Cirque missed 2 shots here, two free shots too.
But maybe there's time for that later. For now, we've got some pistols. It could have been 2 Galils or something, but I mean, Cirque is really hot at the moment. But maybe he won't be with a Tech 9.
Yeah, it's not over just yet. Simple will be forced back just for a moment by the flashbang, but he's very happy to repeat this one, and he's going to pick up a kill because of it. Electronic with the spray, with the AK, and he has to fall back. He doesn't find a frag, but gets damage, and they see exactly what's going on. Simple will find Breeze in the window, and he will remove him. He is not allowed there. And now Simple will look for the next peak, finds Cirque. And you can see that NRG, James, they've put everything on getting frags in middle, and it's just even has picked one up. Na'Vi are looking at very strong here. I can't quite see exactly how NRG could find something in this round now at this point. Ethan's only got 14 points of health. He does have the bomb though as he pushes towards the stairs. And Cirque has the AK, but he's around underpass at the moment.
I think he's in the short position.
Was he short?
From what I can tell, yeah, he's in the ladder
short,
in.
okay.
From that frag earlier on, Ethan trying to play against the rotation, but now the bomb has been lost. 40 seconds. Cirque is position unknown for the time being. We've got to push in B apartment, so the unknown position, the options for that are getting smaller and smaller. Zeus makes his way through the underpass. Cirque has 30 seconds to collect the bomb or win by elimination. This could hardly be worse. Boomich is surely in a strongest position, but Simple will be spotted first. It's got to be a free kill for Boomich now. There's no way Cirque can do this, and we're going to overtime. Na'Vi have fought back. Somehow they have brought this back. A horrific second half where they barely won rounds, but they're still here.
It's absolutely insane if you think about it. The story really felt like it was a struggle the entire way. It didn't look like they could do it. We had so many moments from NRG that made them look too strong to handle, too hot for this one for Na'Vi. We had those clutches from Tarek, the clutch from Cirque right after that as well. It felt like that had to be the breaking point, but Na'Vi held on. And you know what? That just shows their experience on a stage like this. That just shows their will to win, their hunger for this major trophy, and this could be a complete reset for this entire series, James. If Na'Vi are able to carry through and create that dent in the morale of NRG by bringing themselves back like this, this could just change completely from this point forward.
An AWP for both squads. You saw frustration for Cirque. He is 28 for 16. And he has a position in Palace. Ethan creeps towards the ramp. Is the worst over for Na'Vi? Will they grow with strength? The desk spoke about Na'Vi in overtimes, and maybe that will continue to be true. 3 players on the A-bomb site for Na'Vi. Not too interested in mid. The smoke is in connector, and it's well timed. Simple with eyes over the smoke towards short. But there are 2 players moving into connector for NRG.
Looking to go for that classic time-old split from Connector, Ramp, and Palace. And Simple's in a great position towards Ticket. Again, this is a way that you can blow a play like this up. Goes for the hardest shot there. I'm not able to land that one. They know where he is. Hits the second one, though. Stanislaw hits the ground hard as Simple stays in position, but Cirque knows where he is. The peak is good for 2. And now Flamey, he has too much to handle over by the shadow position. And Boomich and Zeus have to rotate in for the retake. And the AWP is posted up. Cirque whiffs that one. Boomich lucky to still be alive, and he's going to continue pressing the issue straight through the smoke as the bomb goes down. He knows this might be the only chance to gain position. Gets the dink onto Cirque. There's trouble now for NRG.
Boomich taking massive risks. He's trying to buy time, show presence to allow Zeus to activate. You can see him there coming up the ramp. There's the frag. They know Cirque was in Palace, but he's rotated, and now it's down to Zeus. He is in a sandwich. He doesn't know it just yet. Looking at him as he falls to the floor. The first round goes to NRG.
Those picks from Cirque were really phenomenal, very fast with the AWP. The punish onto Simple, of course, that first kill that he got was so key, and that's ultimately the reason he's supposed to be posted up in Palace with that AWP, is to take that pick on with that elevation onto the players in CT that would be harder to deal with, and typically would be an AWPer like Simple. He did his job, he did it well. He's 30 for 16 right now, and NRG pick up that first round indeed in overtime. But the buys are not over for Na'Vi, but they must win this round because they spent all their money, James.
They cannot lose another round by a wipeout, as you mentioned, Dan. There is a smoke, some nice smoke on that short position. makes Electronic's job difficult and risky, and there is the punish. Zeus, they look to victimize him again towards that B bomb site. We've got mollies around the van that will help him. That's a very nice shot from him, but he's going to get instantly traded. The numbers advantage is too strong on the B bomb site, and now Na'Vi might have to consider saving. We mentioned that middle position is going to get taken down, and now they've got to save, or do they? A trade from Flamey keeps it close.
Oh man, it's a really hard call, isn't it? 2v3, the bomb's not even down just yet. But again, if they both die, they don't have anything to take into the next round. It is a horrible position to be in. I'm sure every ounce of them really wants to go for it, but the rational mind says you've got to go for the safer, and that's what they're going to go for in this position. NRG threatening that 3-0 at the opening of overtime, and that's really important, I think, because Na'Vi really started to steal the game away, of course, towards the end of regulation, and NRG are proving that they didn't get such a lead by any mistake or anything but just stellar Counter-Strike, and that's what they're showing us here.
Making very, very sure that bomb's not being defused. At this point, it doesn't matter if they die. Secure the round at all costs. And that is 2 from 2. And all those players see those flames surrounding them. But those flames for Na'Vi mean another round lost, another chance gone. Less money in the bag to try and defend Mirage. Last round, the first half of overtime, and we've got the MP9s coming out, the French guns. Simple still has an AWP, importantly. But will he be able to use it? NRG haven't been shy of a fast round towards A and or B, a burst, an abuse of the numbers game. But they'll start in mid for the most part.
Yeah, looking for that default, looking for that control, but quick damage to Stan is traded with Flamey. There you go. Na'Vi, that's what they need to see, the early advantage out of the frag. They don't have to keep committing, they got the kill, and that's what they were here for.
Breeze very close to that connector position. There's a smoke from the short area. And NRG may have to wait for control of connector unless they choose to force the issue. 5 versus 4 in favor of Na'Vi. Once again, Zeus is deep in the B apartments. There's a smoke up at the moment, but that might have something to do with the remainder of this round. There's a bait, so you can see Boomich looking to engage. Doesn't quite work out. Tarek is low, but will he check for Zeus's position? That frag has actually brought Simple into the B bomb site, but the bomb is still in mid, and with that smoke up, as you can see on the radar, they're going to be moving in for a split of the B bomb site, and Simple's in position. Free frag for Zeus. Great angle for Simple, needs one more. Cirque will not be doing anything in this round, and finally Simple's turned up. Finally he's landing the flicks, but is it too late? They stopped the 3, so that's really crucial. You can see the pressure on the coach. This is really tight. It's supposed to be their map, but they are still behind as they move to the T side. Here are the snipers. This has been a great game for Cirque. But it's not over just yet. Simple with 22 frags of the AWP. And we don't have to wait long to see if it will continue. NRG going all in the first round. 2 AWPs. We call it all in because if they lose that round and the round afterwards, the map becomes basically indefensible with the money they have left over. So it's a high risk. We'll see if there is a reward. Cirque and Tarek with the AWPs once again. Simple and Boomich starting towards mid. There are flashbangs from the A-bomb site. Cirque in connector, looking over the smoke. Nothing doing just yet, and Na'Vi will have big presence now in apartments, but there's no shyness in Ethan. Having a look towards the ramp, not seeing much just yet.
Slow push through under Bars, and the late appearance from Simple with the AWP in top mid. Going to mix up those approaches and how you take middle, keep the CTs guessing, but they have that forward setup towards the A ramp, so they're happy to play passively in this spot. And the key thing is that they have Cirque around ticket. We've mentioned it a few times. It's one of the most important ways that you can defend the pushes through connector. You can see him with so much elevation there. Boost into the window. This could be really strong, but they're going to boost 2 into the window. This is very interesting here for Na'Vi.
I do wonder if we're going to see a rotation from NRG. Tarek is currently playing the pixel gap towards the B bomb site, so he's got reasonable information through the B apartments, but he's just dropped off actually to throw a smoke grenade on short for his teammate, but he may feel confident enough to go straight back to his angle, and indeed he's done exactly that. So Does Breeze start to rotate now? NRG are in very forward position. Simple knows all the angles though, and that is the cue to burst onto the A-bomb site.
Only 20 seconds to plant the bomb. They have to get every single kill in quick succession. Ethan, he could do something about this. That's the bomb on the ground. Ethan, a great spray, but almost finds himself a third, but a beautiful shot from Simple saves it. But he's got to be careful here, because is there going to be a push through connector? He's so exposed. I can't believe he's doing this. Falls back, manages to stay alive for just long enough, but Tarek comes in, takes him out, leaves Electronic in the clutch, in the 1 versus 2. They have no idea where he is. 3-1 for Electronic. Now they know, but Tarek has an AWP. Can he find a way? If he goes from the bench, he might find the elevation. Electronic has to stay crouched here. He's got to be so careful in where Tarek actually positions with that AWP, and he finds it! Tarek finds it, and he has time without the kit to get the defuse. Oh my god. James, the audacity to go for that plant from Simple with no cover. I just cannot believe he went for that.
That was terrifying to watch, but the king of content prevails. Tarek takes NRG to another match point. And they've got 2 of them now. NRG with a full buy, need 1 round from 2. No more MAC-10s, no CZs or other nonsense. They will come into this round with the 1 AWP, but maybe that will be enough. Tactical timeout from Na'Vi. They cannot fail. The margin for error is 0. It is 0. They've got to take 2 from 2 to force a second overtime.
What's hard to imagine as well is that imagine that Simple doesn't get that pick in that last round. They had such little time at the point in which he made that pick. Like, you know, what was the plan? You know, when were they going to actually go for it? So it looks like, you know, they were struggling to find a way in against that very passive play style of NRG, which might actually encourage NRG to play like that in the coming round here as well, as Na'Vi did struggle with that approach. But we will see. Time will tell. Either way, at least Na'Vi have a good buy, as to NRG. Breeze straight into the underpass here for fast aggression. He's going to hear a lot of steps.
It's so important not to be afraid to play your game, even when you've got advantages, and NRG have demonstrated that round after round after round. Not just Breeze, but Tarek. They want to win the round in B apartments, it seems. Shades of threat level NIP, CT side splitting the B apartments. But it might not work out for them. Breeze has been lost. Na'Vi with the bomb moving towards the mid position. And Ethan is going to re-aggress. I love it.
Na'Vi, they are rotating out there. Ethan will find out perhaps soon enough, but Zeus is making a lot of noise. Now I'm convinced that something's going on here. Picks up the kill on Zeus, but they have to figure out very quickly, because Na'Vi are going to, with that, losing Zeus in that position, surely they're just going to have to run into the A-bomb site. They do have a minute to play with, so they could try to pull or capitalize or punish some rotations from NRG as they occupy middle, which has been completely abandoned, and that does allow for boosts.
Yeah, but with the smoke top connector, Na'Vi have actually limited what they can do in the short term. So they've given a window for NRG to rotate, because they took connector with that smoke grenade. They know Cirque is lurking somewhere, so there has to be fear with that. 35 seconds, there's a smoke on Boomich. They're looking to clear jungle perhaps. Stanislaw will stop them from planting a bomb though. They're gonna be forced to engage with him. The smoke is up. There's a flashbang. It's beautiful. Stan's been spotted, but he's buying time to see it again. Flamey jumping up, but he somehow finds the frag. Ethan is here, but he can't trade. Grenades will force them from their position, and the bomb's been planted.
This is a tough one for Cirque and Ethan coming back in. Good positioning here from Na'Vi. They are very spread out. Lots of positions to worry about. The incendiary will help. That deals a sandwich. There's no T player there. Double peek will be coming in from... Oh, they're going to go for the boost. That's pretty brave. Boomich just peers from that A-ramp position. Really nice timing. And now Ethan rescues the AWP. Na'Vi looking to survive here. Looking to cut off everything as Simple's about to take away this AWP from Ethan. And there's the double peek. You love to see it. Beautiful timing from Na'Vi. And they pick up another round. They stay alive in this one, looking to get to 18, looking to force the second overtime.
One more round for either team, for a very different situation. Cirque with just enough money to buy another AWP, so integral to this squad. 2 MP9s. Now we see the shortcomings when you have a big investment at the beginning, even with a back and forth. If you lose players, you lose money. Cirque in a short position, no challenge early. Na'Vi favouring presence in apartments. And again, no shyness from NRG. Breeze with a lot of information. He's in a very, very forward position. But with a player in Palace, how will they approach the B bomb site NRG? Ethan is aggressive. He's got his teammates set to cover top mid, more or less, not completely, but he'll eventually fall off Ethan. Na'Vi being careful. We can see Flamey moving away from the A bomb site now. How long does Breeze hold this position for? NRG looking to win the game in the mid position, but they lose the first duel with Boomich.
That is, he survives with 2 HP. What an important frag for Na'Vi. Cirque is trying to punish, normally if underpass gets taken in the mid defaults, you'll see someone come top mid, but Cirque can't find that player. Na'Vi are definitely playing a style here in which NRG can't quite understand where they are going. So that is going to be quite confusing because you've got 4 players. Where do you push them? Where do you commit them? Now more mid-presence coming in from Zeus. Stanisol with the off angle though, it will win the battle.
And with that, Breeze starts to move through Palace immediately, but he's very, very far away. The push is coming in towards the B bomb site, and Cirque is here. He's ready, he's waiting, and now he is the bait. You can see Tarek is just waiting for the plays. They're running out of players, Na'Vi. They don't have anyone through the choke point, and it's Boomich with 2 HP and 25 seconds, and 4 NRG players spots 1, but he's got so much more to do. 20 seconds, NRG need not peek. He has to plant a bomb, let alone find these players. 15 seconds, he's on the window again. No one needs to peek. It only gets worse, and it's a 2-0 for NRG. They've taken the series versus Na'Vi.
NRG into the semi-finals. What a match it was, going from strength to strength, really showing some great form on that first match.